Since the dawn of time, humanity has sought answers. Through whispers of the stars, the dance of the cards, and the shadows of intuition. Few possess the gift to peer beyond the veil, to see the unseen, and to illuminate the truths buried in mystery. Across the ages, the art of divination has guided the lost, unraveled secrets and brought clarity to the chaos of existence. But in life, there is always a choice, a crossroads between fact and fiction, truth and illusion. It is up to each of us to decide which path we will walk. And now, we have reached this moment, a place where mystery
and truth converge, where intuition meets investigation. Welcome to Seeing Crime. I am Lady Zelda. Let us begin. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome this Saturday. And it is December 7th. Can you believe it? December 7th of 2024. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is really something. How are you? Welcome. We've had a week. That's all I got to say. We've had a legal week and we got a lot to talk about. Hello, hello. So welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Before I forget, please hit that like button. That helps. And also, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, please subscribe. 2 reasons. Well, first of all, you get to talk with all of us, which is a lot of fun and very wonderful. And secondly, we will be having a drawing when we get to 7,000 subscribers. We're almost to 6,600. So let's go. Let's go. And then when we have 7,000 subscribers, we will be having a drawing. And for that drawing, I'm giving away 3 prizes. 1, a video reading with me. And for those of you who have had a video reading, I send the link. You can ask me 2 questions and it's yours forever and ever to share and to watch and wherever. Okay. And then secondly, we have 2 Kipper decks. The Fin de Secours Kipper deck, I will be giving away 2 to 2 lucky participants. So do me a favor and please subscribe now. All right. And thank you to each and every one of you. And yes, it's Pearl Harbor Day. And many don't remember that anymore. My father was actually drafted right after Pearl Harbor, went into the Army Air Corps. Before there was an Air Force, it was Army Air Corps. So thank you to all of you who are watching for your service. Thank you, thank you. My goodness, we have so many in the chat saying hello, hello, hello. We have someone here from Norway. Oh my gosh, it's the middle of the night. Bless your heart. You are dedicated. Thank you for being here. I'm not even so sure how to pronounce your name. So I'm just going to say Tony, okay? Because I don't want to mess it up. And so bless you and thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome. So let's get to it. We got a lot to unpack. So don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Yes. Thank you for being here. There we go. Hello, hello. Okay. Now I have a question for you, Ms. Tony. There is a tradition, and I don't know if it is with you, but I follow it every year. And it is the tradition of giving books. Do you know what that is? Is it something? I can't even pronounce it. Something Halabachflod something. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I do that every year. And it is a tradition in which you give a book at Christmas time. Sometimes it is on Christmas Eve. Sometimes it is 2 or 3 days before Christmas. So the idea is it's a book giving. I love that because I love reading and I love books. And most of my books I don't have anymore. I've got a Kindle and I've got probably over 400 titles on my Kindle. But what you do is you give chocolate or hot chocolate and you give a book. And then on Christmas Eve, everyone retires to their beds. They read the book, and the next morning they talk about the book. Now, I just think that's so cool. And I've done that. My family, we've done that for years. Now, we aren't even from that part of the world, but sometimes I just think that these things can be so cool, right? So, hello to everyone and welcome. We got a lot to unpack. First of all, I love you know what? I love your name. My Irish girl, Hanky Janky Fiber Pants. I can't give up real books. I have a Kindle as well, but prefer a book in hand. I do too. And most of my books over the years have just been lost or passed down. I moved a few times and the books didn't. I had some in storage and they were all ruined. So, but the really cool thing is I have several, I think it's close, I can't remember, but I will tell you they are digital books that have been copied. That was one thing that I did do correctly. I copied them on digital because some of these books are from the 15 and 1600s, and they're all about cartomancy and tarot and reading bumps on your head and reading palms and lines and healing. And it's like, oh my goodness. And some of these things are just absolutely wild. And it's so interesting to read. Some are in French, some are in Italian, but that's okay. I have them. I love them. And they are on digital. And then I transferred them over to my Kindle in a PDF format, and I get to read them. So yes, phrenology, that is absolutely correct. That is phrenology. So, okay. I want to talk about something that I know you all have been talking about, and I'm going to do a reading on it, but I'm waiting for the energy to settle down. And the reason that I do that is because there are so many opinions flying off the shelves and so much going on that I don't want to be picking up just junk. I'm just going to tell you, because that's when you pick up junk. It is on the CEO of United Healthcare, Mr. Brian Thompson. And I've got to say, I am so sorry for the family. But I understand that he has been getting some type of these types of Tourette's. I'm going to say it that way. Remember, folks, in the chat, there is AI, and I don't want to get a little tap that says, no, you can't talk about that. So this has been a wild trip, but I will tell you something that I know. United Healthcare has a 32% and higher denial rate on medical claims. Yes, Karen, thank you so much. Yes. 32% is huge. And I know for a fact that they have denied in the past some medicine for a child that was going through chemo. Now, the other thing that I want to say, pardon me, is, let me see if I can say this right. He was supposed to testify in front of a House committee very soon. Not on the 4th, but very soon. Pardon me. Very soon. There are thoughts that there was someone, because this guy's gone. There have been plants. I want you to know when something like this happens, they plant people. I believe the person at Starbucks was a plant to throw people off. This guy is gone. This guy's gone. But I do believe that there's some political rendering behind this and a person politically that is behind this as well. Pardon me. I just took an allergy pill because there's a little 4-foot furry buddy that's been sitting up around my neck before we got started. So when that comes out, when things just kind of calm down and you stop seeing all this opinions and, look at this and look at that and this and this and this, I'm waiting for the atmosphere to just kind of go, okay, now we can read this. It's kind of like, and I'm just going to give you this analogy. It's kind of like, and we have them on the psychic line that I'm on, and in the past I have them. It's kind of like that person who will call a psychic on the psychic line, and they want to hear what they have to say, but then they call another, they hang up and they call back and they get another one because they want to know, they want to compare. Well, if you're really psychic, then this other person is going to pick that up. But sometimes they don't like what they're told. So then they go to the next one. And before you know it, there's 5 or 6 calls a day from a person that does that sort of thing. Now, here's what happens. Instead of picking up the real truth, you pick up what is right here and their thoughts about the previous person. So if the previous person says, oh no, you're going to be experiencing XYZ, and that's not really true, then by the time they get to me, I'm going to say, oh, well, you're experiencing XYZ. And it's because that person is thinking about it. It's first and foremost on their mind. And then that person gets mad. And then, so anytime you just don't know and you call a psychic, you need to take a step back and you need to let it melt at least a day before you call back, because this hang up call, and then people get mad. All right. It's the same as this situation. You see all over the internet, it's a buzz. Well, this person says this, and this guy was on there, and this is what hair, and this has happened, and this is then, and this, and it's like your head just starts swelling with all this information. So I'm going to wait till the microwaves are down just a minute, and we're going to see what's going, because I didn't even take my cards out. I know if I took my cards out, they would probably be saying, Zelda, hello, what are you doing? There we go. So yeah, I see that standing stones. We don't know. I'm sure she's and the family are very well taken care of, but this is a horrible time of year to lose some. I mean, I know I lost my dad on Christmas Eve and I lost my mom December 12th. And it's never a time in which you can go through and you think, oh my gosh. Now, here's the thing. I'm so glad that they went when they did, because they both loved this time of year. So it's kind of a wonderful thing. Actually, she didn't go on the 12th. She was born on the 12th and she left us on the 21st. So there's more to this than meets the eye. And I want you to know that. That's number one. So Another drink. And look, yes, I'm a bad girl. Yes, but it's diet. So now the other thing. The Cathedral, Notre Dame de Paris, was reopened and dedicated in France. I've been to the one in Basilica in the Quebec City. It's beautiful. I think the new one is absolutely beautiful. Why they can't, I mean, this architecture is gorgeous. But you know what? I kind of miss that 1,000-year-old dirt, right? Everybody's like, oh, well, look at this. Well, it's clean. And another 1,000 years, if it's still standing, it is going to be this beautiful, just patinaed, I'd like to say, but all of those artifacts, everything is gone. But this is symbolic. It's amazing because I mean, it was just like yesterday that we lost that to fire. 2019, I remember it, and it's like, oh my heck, that was treacherous. And you know the miraculous thing, nobody lost their life. That's the biggest miraculous situation of all, when the cathedral in Notre Dame burned. There's my darling Tony, and this is what I was talking about, the Christmas flood of books. Everyone, look this up. It is literally Christmas celebration that begins with the printing of a catalog in mid-November and ends with giving, receiving, and by adding new books on Christmas Eve. Isn't that wonderful? So for you that read, thank you so much, Tony. Thank you for being here. Every year I post that. And there's a beautiful, and I'm not going to butcher it, hello, but there's a beautiful name for it. And I just think it's wonderful. And it is just so, but I like the chocolate part. And okay, it's about the only time of year that I eat it. And I'm going to tell you, the Whitman sampler boxes go on sale this time of year because I don't buy them. They're too expensive for what they are. But that's my little gift to myself. And I can tell you what book I'm going to buy this year. On my Kindle, it's called The Academy by Patrick Bet-David. It is on Amazon. You can get it for $14 or something like that for Kindle. And for right now, with me looking to move, I'll just do it on the Kindle, and maybe someday I'll do that. But I'm going to tell you, that is a book. And I know Patrick, to the point where every year it's my birthday, he'll send me a little text and say, Zelda, happy birthday to you, which is so sweet. And if you want to see him, he's on YouTube, and he just does these. He's got a podcast, and he does these wonderful, absolutely very informative podcasts. Check him out. And if you do, tell him Zelda sent you. He's wonderful. Last year, now I forget what it is. In fact, I have my little, look, I'm disappearing out of view. I have my Kindle here, and I want to share it with you because for all of you that like this romantic kind of horror, I have to say it that way because, you know. Let me see if I can turn on my Kindle. Well, it's out of juice. It is Anatomy, a Love Story. It is 2 books. And I'll tell you what, if you like to read, you won't put them down. Anatomy, a Love Story. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Standing stone while so young. Yes, I lost my BFF on 27 years ago. 12/19 this time seems to amplify the feeling every year. Yeah, I know. It is. It is. But you know, the shock and horror. We're going to be seeing some shock and horror. So let's move on because I've got a lot to talk about tonight. And I keep looking at the chat and I love how you guys are talking and I get distracted. And, you know, before we know it, it's a catastrophe because then I can't remember what on earth I'm talking about. And it's time to just take a little Zen, right? Just sometimes we just have to do a little Zen, just a little namaste. There we are. Okay. Now the next thing, and this burns me to a crisp, is sweetheart Daniel Penny. Now, my brother was a Marine. My nephew was a Marine. I have families that were Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Oorah, oorah, semper fi. He did the right thing. How many women, and men too, but how many women, if I were on that subway and this dude was doing what he was doing, I would be petrified. And especially those with people who had children. I mean, this guy did not care. He had an arrest warrant for him that day for assaulting another woman, and he had 42 arrests. Now, I'm going to tell you a little travesty that is not being posted, and I'm going to just try to say this gingerly. Let's be careful in the chat. We're going to just say it gingerly. And that is this DA. I don't know where I don't know where they're coming out with these DAs. Now, when I read for him a few days ago, I literally saw he was going to get a not guilty plea. I saw that. I mean, not a plea, I'm sorry. Not guilty. He was going to be acquitted. And then all of a sudden it was like, uh-oh. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened to that trial that's not being really told, because I know someone who was close to someone in that trial. I know that sounds bad, but they're not going to lie to me or lie to the person I got it to. I'm going to say this ADA, who is worse than lollygag could ever be, in my opinion. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not a lawyer. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a tarot profiler who hopefully has a little bit of common sense. Now, this ADA, when speaking to the jury, kept saying, yes, there was this white man, and kept repeating that when she was referring to him. Look, I'm going to tell you something. It should not matter. It does not matter. But they're trying to form a narrative and pit people against each other, and it has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. And it has everything to do about getting a fair trial, no matter who it is, no matter what race, no matter what creed, no matter what belief, no matter what. So we're already setting up the jury. And now after this little stunt that they pulled yesterday, and Alvin Bragg, hello. People start with this, you know what lives matter. No, all souls matter. We all matter. So now the stunt that they pulled yesterday. Oh, well, hello, jury. We really want a conviction. So you know what? We're just going to dismiss the first charge of manslaughter, and we're just going to throw it off the table because we want you to go back to the jury room on Monday, and we want you to get, we want you to go back. They should have they came back twice. They had the Allen charge, and they should have just said, look, done, mistrial done. But no, they want this conviction. And if they push it, they might get it, unfortunately. However, let me say this. I have lawyer friends. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but my lawyer friends have told me that this isn't right. And it is not legal what this DA and what this judge did, because in their opinion, and who am I to know? I'm just telling you, hello, allegedly, supposedly, they are taking away the due process for Daniel Penny. For Daniel Penny. They are taking away the due process. Because on the verdict form, if you saw it, you're going to see where it says, if you can't come to an agreement on the first one, then you're not going to be able to come to an agreement on the second one. And it's probably just going to be a mistrial. It's a lesser included. This is a travesty, and people need to be outraged. Seriously. Because I'm going to tell you what will happen in the state of New York. And this also means, that Daniel Penny must have been overcharged. Think about that. He was overcharged. For a judge and a DA and an ADA to come back and say, oops, sorry. Okay, just wipe it off the table. We want a conviction. It's okay. Go ahead. So now, Monday morning, they go back to the drawing board. And I am praying, and I'm going to be agreeing with all of you right now, that they come back with a not guilty on the second lesser included. What are they going to do then? But I'm going to tell you, with all this ADA and our little antics and this saying these things that are just ridiculous and has nothing to do with it, for all of you who live in New York proper, now you're going to have to be careful, because now they're inciting the R word, and I'm not going to say that, and please be careful in the chat. So they're wanting to ruffle some feathers. They're wanting, a little fire here and there. The mayor doesn't agree with this. They have emasculated the police officers. And I'm just going to say this, my darlings. You know what's going to happen. From now on, if they get away with this from now on, this ADA is going to overcharge everybody, believing that if they come back with a hung jury, or it's a mistrial, or we go through this Allen charge stuff, in my opinion, then they're going to set the precedence to say, okay, well, we really want a conviction, so we'll just throw that one off the table, and we're going to sit here until you guys convict. That's really what they're saying. This is the time that I'm happy. I started law school and I didn't finish for this reason. Now, I have my reasons that I didn't, but I'm going to tell you, I am glad, because I probably would have been disbarred a long time ago because of my cake hole, opening it all the time and saying, this is not right. Put it together. This should be an outrage. People should be calling the mayor. And here's the thing I'm just going to say, all right? This current administration cannot, and the new administration, so Biden nor Trump can pardon this man because it's not a federal crime. It is a state criminal offense. The only person that can pardon him is the governor of New York. And do you really think she's going to do anything? Not only no, but heck no. 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 Zero. Not. And for those of you who don't know that much about Daniel Penny, bless him, he could be my son. First of all, this cost him over almost $1 million. Now he's going to have to go through it all over again, possibly, sort of, kind of, maybe. And now what? Now what? They break people financially so they can get convictions. That is unconstitutional, in my opinion. Hey, I love our attorney friends, and I'm all for it. No shade on them. They have to make a living too. But hello, this is not fair that you go to jail or prison because you run out of money. Not because you're not guilty or because you're guilty. You go because you cannot get a defense, and then you're stuck with a public defender. And hello, public defenders, the public defenders that I know back in the day used to fight for you, but now they are so busy, they're there to plea for you. They're there only to get the plea. But for those of you who are not really familiar with this case, for Daniel Penny, this man on the subway was alive. He was alive when the police came. He was alive when they hauled him off. This chokehold wasn't something that they said he held it for 6 minutes. I invite any of you to hold a pillow for 6 minutes like this. Hold it as tight as you can. After the first minute, your pillow should be fainted or unconscious. But for 6 minutes, where are they getting this trash from? And this ME, pardon me, I'm thinking of Massachusetts because this is something that Massachusetts would pull. And this ME who said she didn't know, there were things that she didn't know, or she would say something and she couldn't have known some of the things that she was saying. But here's the thing that really got to me. And you know what? I don't blame them. The chief of police said, I didn't want my police officers helping him and picking up some type of disease or AIDS. So they let him lay until the EMTs came, the paramedics came. So they knew he was alive. So how could that be Danny Penny's fault? That should be the outrage right there. And I can tell you, when this new administration comes in and we have a new FBI director and we have this is when to start firing off the emails, start making the phone calls, and putting these judges and these ADAs and these attorneys who think they are God in their bloody place, in my opinion. And when that happens, I will help you by getting those addresses. I will help you with writing letters that people will stand up and listen to. Because they don't listen to I thought back in 1968, no, this is an outrage. This is against our Constitution. This person, and it has to be direct and it has to be forceful. This will happen You watch and see, because it needs to happen for the judge from the Delphi case in Indiana, and for, we know, Massachusetts. And now, hello, did you all see that councilwoman who got arrested yesterday by the FBI? Ciao, baby, you ain't coming back for a little while. That's what you get for stealing money from the taxpayers. But there's a few little, sorry, I'm really on my, ooh, 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 namaste, Zelda. Namaste, namaste, hello, namaste. But yes, now I have my darling sweetheart here, my Astro. She is the astrologer in the group, and I'll tell you what, I love astrology. I just wish, it's such an exact science, and I respect everybody that has that. I just love that. I love it. Thank you so much. I love this comment because she is a sister to all of us, no matter what. Being Black in America is a death sentence. I understand that, honey. What must happen for the wall to be removed for every human's eye? Our lives are seen as disposable. Sincerely, a Black woman and a mother of 2 Black babies. You know what, honey? I feel for you, and I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly. And thank you for that comment. So I can tell you that I feel that there's a change coming. There's a change coming. And this nonsense of being pitted against each other, and this our America, we should be over that trash. We should be over that stuff. It makes no sense to even do that. We should be all one going forward. We should be. We should be. But it's people like this ADA who wants to push the envelope a little bit because they want conviction. This is predatory law, in my opinion. Predatory. You do something that you don't want to do, I'll tell you what, it almost makes you afraid to go out and help anyone, be close to anyone, blah, blah. And I'll tell you why. It's because, and even the police are like that now in New York and in many other places too that I know. So, Zelda. So now Monday we see, and the best thing we can do is pray for this young man and his family. But I believe that the defense is really going to come charging out. Daniel Penny has an absolutely wonderful defense lawyer. He is a real, he's like an AJ and a David Dinetti and a Melanie Little and Eliza Little and a Betterow and all our favorite lawyers. He is like that. He's on the move. And I can honestly believe that they were preparing yesterday. As soon as Daniel walked out of the I can tell you, I cannot wait. I cannot wait, because this will be amazing to see this judge be held accountable for that type of trash that he did. And I'm going to tell you something. They should have helped the victim, this man who lost his life, who had 42 warrants against him. He needed mental health care. And we we in this country have the worst mental health care ever. They arrest him, let him go. Arrest him, let him go. Arrest him, let it go. Bad. To hurt other people. Yes. There. Yeah. Miss Stephanie, my intuition tells me Daniel Bent would see my life as disposable, as he did in Jordan Neely, a switch I can't turn off. It's a gift in form of self-preservation. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. You know what? I have to say this. We love you, and I don't think so. I think what he saw was a person going on there, and that everybody was frightened. And I think that he just tried to detain him. He lost his life after the police came. That is the sad part of it is. It really is sad. So I don't understand why the jury didn't return in a matter of hours, in my honest opinion. Because I think that we have someone that is a couple of them on there that are gonna hold out. They're just basically gonna hold out. And the ADA knows what they're doing. You know, my thing here is it's a travesty of justice for everyone involved. Not just one, not just two, travesty of justice. So now, here we are, my darlings. Namaste, namaste. We've got another thing that we have to talk about here. And it's really something else. Now we're going to take a little break and breathe because Zelda got a little on her high horse, and I apologize for that. So when it's time to go, we will put up our tray tables and we will go on our flight over to Turtle Boy. He's going to talk about Hanky Panky and this latest little thing that came out for Karen. And so I will be doing that. I'm going to send you right over there, and you can tell him a Zelda raid. Now, I am so sorry, Lisa. It's been happening to a lot of people. And I'll tell you what, my craziness of videos today. Do you know I made 14 videos, and they were for all the signs, predictions for December, going into, you know, the end of the month, and there were, you know, Mercury retrograde and all this, and oh, I was just so pleased with them, and I posted them, and guess what? No sound, nothing. So I got to start over. It's okay. It's Mercury retrograde. Hello. So there you go. So anywho, Karen Reed, our lovely Karen Reed. Now, before we get started, I'm just going to say, let all that sink in just for a moment. Just let it all sink in, because we've had a very legal week, just like I know that around the holiday, we're going to see some more happening. We're going to see some more. But what I was going to say, my darlings, is this. Josh Levy. I like Josh Levy. I like him. I like Josh Levy. Josh Levy gave this really good presser yesterday when this council lady, if you want to call her that, she has been out of control. I don't know what the heck, but you know, it was some of her people that she was with that turned her over. It was part of her inner circle that turned her over. And, people were mad because she was taking bonuses from the taxpayers and not allowing everybody else to get a bonus. Isn't that lovely? So those people were mad because they couldn't commit a crime and she wouldn't let them commit a crime. So they all turned her in, especially they like to say person A. Now, I don't know if person A is going to be doing anything or getting anything or whatever, but thankfully person A saw the light and was able to turn her into Josh Levy. Now, Josh Levy said a few things. And Josh Levy was saying something to the effect of, they're not going to put up with corruption in public offices. Hope you saw that, Meatball Morrissey, in my opinion. They're not going to put up with all this. They're not going to do this. And she's in the pokey, and she's going to remain there until further notice. But I like Josh Levy and what he was saying. And what he was saying was, I'm going to tell you this. If I were an ADA, if I were any of these people that were associated with the DA's office there with Morrissey, I'd be wiping out the back of my pants about now. And you saw what happened in the Brian Walsh trial. You saw that. And that was that attorney, the prosecutor, is the one who wanted to get Proctor's phone. And the judge said no. But that's the same ADA that they wanted to prosecute Karen, and he said no. I want you to know when an ADA turns down a case, there ain't nothing there. And he did that. Now, the fact that he's not getting Proctor's phones, they're not happy about it. I think they should have gotten them. Hello? But the big thing about Josh Levy, one of the things in his presser, he just looks over and he says basically like this. He said, he just goes, he said, yes, we are working with the FBI and with the IRS. You know why they do that? Because when they don't have enough, now look, here's the thing, because they're always saying, call in if you know something. Well, we can't call in if we think that somebody has done something. We have to have facts. And I appreciate that. We should have facts. If we're going to do that with someone, we have no business calling in and saying, well, I think sort of, kind of, even though we want to. But I can tell you what else they're going to do, because they do this every time. It's the Al Capone thing, because they never could charge Al Capone for murder. But they got him on tax evasion. And just watch. Just watch. Just watch. Because the people who do these things make mistakes. Why? Well, because they think they're just getting away with everything. They think they're just getting away with it. Hello? They think they're just getting away. So now we see that Auntie Bev gave the CW permission to get Gretchen Voss and Boston 25 and Ted Daniel and all these people all get all their text and docs and everything else together. Come on. Come on, Massachusetts. Why can't you protect these people who get, and quite frankly, this is why they don't want to report on the truth. Do you ever think of that? Because they just want to stay away from it. Because if they get involved, they get involved. Just like with this Karen Reed case, nobody wants to get involved with this stuff. So now, now we're going to see this. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If there is another trial, I can't wait till they get Gretchen Voss up on a stand. And here's my question to you, Hanky Panky. If you're watching, why haven't you asked Vanity Fair? Because is it that Vanity Fair knows something that maybe you don't want to be public? Is it that Vanity Fair has a little bit on their outtakes of the truth because it was Vanity Fair that not only found the one person that Chloe attacked, Chloe the German Shepherd attacked, they found 2 incidents. Where was that? What about all that, Hanky Panky? Do you not want any of that sort of thing to come out? Because I'm sure there are some things that are going to come out. And if you think that Boston 25 and Boston 10 and all these other Gretchen Voss are going to remain unbiased, just wait. The fact that you're making them go through all this is time consuming. This is 2 going on 3 years of documentation. I'm sorry, I don't keep my texts from 3 years, and many people don't. I mean, after all, DA Meatball Morrissey hasn't kept his in the last 30 days. So there's another thing. Yes, my darling Stephanie. Yes, the bite history and the victim, absolutely. And Sherry, after Levy's presser in regards to Boston Council, I hope it's made that Canton Select Board sweat. Oh, I'm sure they're sweating. I'm sure, I mean, they're probably going to have to get their depends out, right? It depends. Get your depends out. Get your depends. There you go. But now there's another situation here with Karen that we've got to talk about. Yesterday was the Supreme Court, ooh, baby, the Supreme Court cutoff for decisions. That means they're not coming. If this, it may show up on Monday. It might. Maybe Monday, if they decided yesterday. But if not, this Supreme Court decision won't be coming. They're not coming back until January 25th. How would you like that vacation? But they're not coming back until the 25th, and they have a trial that's supposed to be the 27th. Now, one of the reasons I feel that Auntie Bev held back and waited to agree for trials or whatever is I think she wanted to wait on this Supreme Court decision. And that is she going to poll the jury, or should she be doing this, or should she be doing that? They're going to tell us. And I mean, they might come back and say, no, we don't agree. Okay, very good. You did what you did. Fine. So now, if they have a second trial, retrial, scheduled for January 27th, and the Supreme Court doesn't come back until January 25th, and then what if they have a decision come out during the retrial? Talk about the mess of the Hesperus. Does this not just remind you that these people in Canton, in my opinion, are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic? Does it feel that way for you? That just this disheveled, and I'm just going to tell you another thing that drives me batty. Seriously, can't you hanky-panky in my opinion, write a motion or a brief that has no typographical errors, proper English, and the proper reference to a bait stamp. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I know that. Let's just submit something. These typographical errors just drive me crazy. I mean, we have to be psychic to decipher what it is that this dude wants. I thought he was supposed to be this big and mighty Superman, this man who was going to come in and just wiping all these. And I can tell you what, the defense is probably sitting back and laughing at these people because they made such a big deal about Hanky Panky being there. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't think that he thought, seriously, I don't think that they thought that he was going to be there. That's why they only decided to pay him 75 grand. And look, poor Lolly's probably going to have to get some type of counseling when this is done, probably. Auntie BB. I thought they can't proceed with the 2.0 try until the decision is made. Didn't Law Daddy tell us that, or did I misunderstand? See, I don't know. I don't know. But as far as I know right now, we'll find out on the 12th because we have another motion hearing, and that's for Dr. Russell. And I don't know about you, but can you just wait to see that? Because that's when the new attorney is going to be there, Robert Alessi, and he makes up this fantastic four of Alan Jackson, David Iannetti, Eliza Little, and now we have Robert Alessi. The Fantastic Four. Can't you just wait? They're going to make mincemeat out of the Canton DA's office. Thank you very much. Okay, here we go. I was from the 29th until the 5th when I suddenly was feeling back to normal. Oh, you were down and out. I'm sorry. It was most of the day. That was all. Like that little sweet puppy. Hello, puppy in the profile. There you go. So, yeah. So we are about to have a complete cluster duck on this situation. A complete cluster duck. Whack, whack. Because what if? Now, I don't know. I trust what Law Daddy says. But think about this. I trust what he says. Does Auntie Bev decide what she's just going to do what she wants to do? It looks like. Right? Hello? Okay. Freda, my darling, do you think the DA will get anything of substance from Auntie Bev's decision to allow the CW to get the interviews? No. Yeah, I do. You don't want to know what it is? I think they're going to find out that there ain't nothing there. That's the substance of that. They're going to find out, but whatever it is that they find out, they're going to make a big deal of it, I'm sure, but they're not going to find out anything. They think that Karen, this is the reason behind the whole trash mess, is that they think because they have nothing else to retry her on. Face it. Let's face it. If there was a cop, if there was an EMT, if this was recorded, and I'm gonna let's dial it back a little bit. Hello. I'm gonna redial this. We're gonna redial it back. Let's go back to the past. Not as far as the troglodytes, but let's go back to the past. When they found Officer John O'Keefe on the lawn of 34 Fairview Road, and they're all there in that complete mess and the hustle and bustle, and there is Miss Jawbone Jen, and we've got all these people there, the EMTs, the police officers, and it's just complete cluster mess. Jen turned her back on Officer John as they gurneyed him in front of that car with the police cam to the ambulance, and Jen had her back trying to talk to one of the officers, and she was probably here saying, you know, I don't want to say anything, but she was saying that Karen was saying she hit him. She was trying to do it there. I'm going to tell you something. If they felt there was something there, they would have arrested Karen on the spot. Think about that. And then they waited, because remember, SOS, they had to swap out their suspects, in my opinion. So now let's go through this a little bit more. There's something I think I want to point out to all of you after I have my little sip of a Whataburger Diet Coke. We're friends. I can drink. Okay, and that's all it is. I don't drink, but okay. Let's just say this. The majority here are mothers, fathers. Those of you who are here are and Sammy, who is a mother, my girl Sam, who are grandmothers, grandfathers, aunts, uncles. Even if you don't have children, you might be an aunt or an uncle, whatever the case may be. If you are laying in bed one night and you see all these flashing lights and you didn't know where your kids were, wouldn't you come bounding out of that house? I would have had my nose pressed up against the window. That's right, sissy. I would have had my nose pressed up against the window. Doesn't it just seem flippin' well odd to all of you that this guy and this woman, both of them, laying in bed, the house is dark, as my grandmother would say, the house is dark as damn it. Sorry, that was professional friends. With the house as dark as could be, the people down the road were taking snapshots and a little bit of video, wondering what the heck. We live in an age where you can't have a body function without somebody there taking your picture or recording your crack. And that house is dark. And not only is it dark, it's quiet. So they think, oh, wait a minute, here's Freda. My 5-year-old likes your kitty cat. Oh, let's see if Sammy can say hi. Hi, Merry Christmas. Oh, she don't want us to do it right now, but she's pretty good. But thank you. Thank you. Here she is. She's a cuddle bub. She lays with, look at her face. She's like, enough, mommy, enough. You know what? I look at her and I think, I wish I could do my eyeliner just like you. Okay, so thank you, sweethearts. Thank you. So back to this. They think after all this time that all of these news media agencies are going to be sitting on this. I'm going to tell you this. As much as I love Karen and her family, if she came to me in a reading and said, look, Zelda, I got something to tell you, but I need you to keep it quiet. I really did this, which I don't believe she did, and I don't believe she has, and nor would I believe that she would do that. But it's an example, and she never has, because I don't know Miss Karen, but I'm giving it to you as an example. I am not bound by any type of privilege like that, and neither are these news outlets. If they did this, if they do you know that they could also be charged? Hanky panky, what are you doing? How could they be charged, Zelda? Well, I'm not a lawyer, but it would seem to make sense that they would be charged with aiding and abetting. Possibly. Could it be? Maybe we should ask one of our lawyer buddies. If these people sat on a confession, they're not going to find anything. They're just not going to find anything, period. What they do find, they'll try to make a big deal out. And I could actually see them sort of trying to intimidate the news outlets and the media as to, giving the elbow of coercion, possibly, sort of, kind of, maybe, allegedly, possibly, of saying, now, she confessed to you. I'll tell you what, let a DA do that to me once. You get to the point where you just say, this is so bloody ridiculous. But you see, Auntie Bev thwarted that whole thing about confessing to her mom and dad. That alone should tell us that they ain't got nothing. They ain't got duck. Quack, quack. And the reason I can say that is they were so bent on getting this information from Mr. and Mrs. Reed. They were trying to convince the Auntie Bev, trying to convince everyone that she confessed to the parents. Well, the moment that Auntie Bev denied that, oof, boom, they're off to the races on another thing. Get your act together. And not only that, they're so hung up on, watch the trial. They're so hung up on this Dr. Russell expert thing. Why should they care? If they have a confession, if they feel that Karen had a confession to these news outlets or to their parents or someone, why would they care about? Then it's thwarted. Then it's a misjustice. Who cares then about Dr. Russell? Let her come and talk about dog bites. If they're so confident, and they're not, that Karen did this, just watch. And Wild Man's mom, why would you think they wouldn't? It's an inverted trigon. Absolutely. They try to sneak a little something in there. I'm going to tell you something that I love about the Fantastic Four now. That's what I'm going to call them. The Fantastic Four. Remember, that is Alan Jackson, David Iannetti, Liza Little, and attorney Robert Alessi. And it's because Robert Alessi, coming into the team, who is an expert at Section 1983 law and RICO. And all you need to know about that, in my opinion, because I'm not law enforcement, not a lawyer, from what I've read, and you can read the same, it's about corruption. It's about these agencies being compromised, maybe? And there ain't nobody safe from it. So for everyone who's been wanting, our friends from Josh Levy's office, and the DOJ, the FBI, all of those, hello if you're watching. When I was growing up, we were told that the FBI meant forever bothering Italians. Anyway, I hope that brings a smile to your face if you're watching. So we welcome them to come in, and it's taken them, look how long it's taken, 2 years on this councilwoman. It's taken 2 years for Sandra Birchmore. And by the way, if you see that video that Microdots has out on Sandra Birchmore, it is quite brilliant and just heart-wrenching. Take a look at that. So they're not going to just say, oh, okay. Because remember what I said, they always come in the early morning hours when you got your little jammies on and you're sleeping with your kitty and your hair ain't done. It's a humiliation thing. And not only that, they don't want you to get any type of inclination so you can just bolt. This councilwoman didn't have a chance. They came to her and they were like, done. That's what we will see happen in Canton, Massachusetts, in my opinion. And I hope and pray for that day, because I can tell you what, Karen will own half of Canton or half of Mass, and Doc Aiden, Turtle Boy, will own the other. And I can tell you this, I want you to look forward to all of these things that are coming, because I know this is heart-wrenching on Karen, but I know that she's in good hands, divine hands with our Father, number one, and number two, she's in great hands with the Fantastic Four. They're not going to let her suffer an injustice. We've got crash daddies coming, everybody, that are going to be, and I think this time they're going to do everything that they can to allow the jury to know, it's my opinion, it's what I've heard, to allow the jury to know that these crash daddies were not hired by any insurance company nor Karen's defense team. That they will be hired, and they have been hired by a government agency. Doesn't that just give you the warm fuzzies? So I know that Karen wants this over just like we do, more than we do. But I can tell you what, if that trial takes place, Zelda will shut down. All electronics will be off, and I will be focused right on that trial. Because I'm going to tell you, I cannot wait for these people to be so humiliated. And you watch. We are entering, in my opinion, we have already entered, but from everything that I've heard, and you know what they say about hearsay, but everything that I've heard about malicious prosecution is a reality. Can't you just wait? I'm looking forward to all of them. If they're going to push it, okay, push it, baby, push it real good. There you are. So I have ranted for 1 hour and 17 minutes. Aren't you guys happy that you're here? I'm happy that I'm here. I'm happy that you're here. I just think it's all good. And Kimberly says, I think Alyssa will walk softly but carry a big stick. Bev better watch her P's and Q's. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm here for, baby. Let's pop the popcorn. Yeah, that's pop the popcorn. And I know most of you have probably seen my video on what did Karen's Lexus 5 or that Lexus LX 570 say. We are going to be doing more with those. We're going to do more of an energy grab. And like I said, this has just been this legal can of worms week where we've had all of this stuff, unalivings and craziness here and there. And I mean, look at Suitcase Sarah. She got life in prison. Yeah. And then the Miss Ballerina, she got a heavy duty sentence too, and they're going to be appealing. I mean, this is what I mean by at the holidays, you're going to start seeing arrests. You're going to start seeing this because the one thing about this councilwoman for Boston, they do it right before Christmas. They could have done it anytime. They knew months ago what she was doing, but they always do it before Christmas, right at the holidays, right before. Why? Because they want people, these perps, these people, monsters. They want these monsters to sit there during the holidays, not open their presents and not being with family and not having a good meal, but waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning and hearing the bars slam shut and knowing you can't go nowhere except somewhere off of your bunk and right onto the potty, and you're going to go where everybody can see you. There's zero privacy. They're going to realize that they only have one change of clothes. They don't have their cute little ugly Christmas sweaters any longer. They don't have any of those things any longer. They're going to realize that they get 3 meals a day, and it may be the crappiest meal that they've ever had, including, it could be, and I know where there's a jail somewhere in Tennessee, and I won't say where that is, but when they get boxes of food into their kitchens, they say not intended for human consumption because they do not pass the tests for all of those FDA. They don't pass any of that stuff. That's what they have look forward to. That's what Matthew Farwell has been living. And this will be for the rest of his life. He does not get to spend Christmas with his little kiddos, and I'm very, very sorry for them. Because he's never going to even get to know that little baby. So there's more coming. And that's what they get to see. That's what they get to experience. So for those of you who are in Massachusetts, and if you are watching, and if you are on the dark side, you have a lot to look forward to. Because justice is coming. The truth is always revealed. It doesn't matter when, it will be. And you don't have to worry. Because you can hide it all you want to, but the truth always reveals itself. There we go. Sit there and think about what you have done and the lives that you have affected. And guess who's on the scene? That is Shaggy Noodle, but he knows better than to get near this one because she's growling already. I'm just glad you didn't see it because all of a sudden the paws start flying, and she tells everybody, get away from my mama. All right. Let's see what y'all have to say. Freda, do you think the ballerina's appeal will be as successful? No, I don't. Unfortunately. No, I don't. Sorry, I don't. My hanky-janky Irish girl. Oh, when Irish eyes are smiling, oh, 'tis like a breath of spring. Oh, when Irish eyes are smiling, you can hear the angels sing. Did you know that the councilwoman was originally an illegal here in the country? Yeah, look at this. Hello. Calm down, calm down. Yeah. Yeah, that's sad. Karen says, sit there and think about what you've done, young lady. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Michelle says, happy Saturday, all. I'll listen to the replay because I'm late. Aw, bless you. Hello, Michelle. Hello. And before I forget, we have a lot of friends that are overseas, different countries, UK, Africa, Australia, all points in between. Let's take a breath for a minute. Let's take a breath for a minute. And let's just say hello, because they're going to be on the rewatch. Hello, everybody. Hello, my friends. Hello, my darlings. And there we go. Hello, hello. Namaste. Bless you. And thank you for being here. Thank you there. Okay. I feel the same way. My little one insists that I tell you she likes your glasses. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. And hello from Texas, from Teresa. Hello. And hello. Hello. Karen says, hello, everyone. Hello. I'll tell you what, I apologize. Zelda has just been on her today. But, you know, I see a lot of these injustices, and you just have to think, oh, forevermore. When, what, when? Now, I have to ask you, I decorated for Christmas. How do you all like my decorations? Do you see the Santa's bag back there filled with presents? Because I've been a good girl this year. And I deserve more than the lump of coal that I got last year. Pardon me. Poe's got a little bow on his little neck there. And then look, his name is Fred. The little ghost in the bottle right there has got a little, he's got, and look, let me see. The witch kitties, whoops, wrong way. There we go. The witch kitties have a new blanket. And then I have my stockings for Santa Claus. I better put that fire out because Santa Claus isn't going to be able to come down in the chimney. He'll have more than a hot foot. Love the decor. Love Poe. Yes, everyone. Poe says hello. Watch this. Watch this. Poe is sitting right here. I've got all these kitties sitting here because when I sing, they all sit. Look at her. Look at her face. She doesn't know if she likes Poe or if she not. Oh, we're going to kiss now. Okay. This is Poe, everyone. And this one here that I'm holding was so mad that I was holding, you might be able to see, was so mad that Sammy here broke Poe's leg. And I had to put him, I had to put him in the Poe hospital and repair his leg. But he's fine now. He's fine. It's all about that. So there we go. So thank you so much. Love Poe's bow. Yes, I love Poe's bow too. I love it all. My goal, everyone, and you'll see it. You're sticking with me. You're going to see it. I will have a room like this. I designed this room. Yes, I cheated and used AI because I ain't that talented to be able to draw. But I will have a room like this. And I will have that, see these stairs? I just love stairs. That's right, Sammy. You'll be there with mommy. And all those stairs going up to the second. And I'm going to tell you what you see behind my portrait there. There's a little hidden room behind that portrait. So I will be designing this room, and there will be a day that I will have this room, and you'll all there be with me. This coming year, I will tell you, my darlings, is going to be so, yes, that's a 5, sissy, 5. This, my year, is going to be, my dear, hello. This, my darling, give me 5, Sammy. No? Okay. Is going to be so exciting because my goal is to get moved. My goal is to get moved. I'm going to take you with me on the moving process. You're going to see on the decorating process. You're going to see, especially my tarot crime lab, where I'm going to do all my readings. And then I'm going to travel a little bit. And if I go to a particular place, y'all are going to know. And then you can stop by and we'll have a coffee, or we'll have lunch, or we'll have tea, or we can just talk. We can just talk. But it's so cold right now. I'm just going to kind of like sit in. I'm going to do my thing. And then there we go. So a couple little announcements here. For those of you who want a reading with me, you see this little scroll here. You can get a reading with me if you go to that website address, and especially see, all you have to do is go back here and say video reading right at the back there. Right there in the back. Whoops, hello, right there in the back. And that's where you can order the reading. Unfortunately, my darlings, I am very sorry, but the $10 reading special is no longer available. However, we may still have one around Christmas. So that is coming. And I will be doing some more for members only. So if you want to come in and grab a membership, we're going to start doing that, because there's some things I still want to be able to talk about. You want to know my thing? I'm going to tell you what, my darlings. Do me a favor right now, though. Subscribe. I don't know how many, somebody tell me how many. I'm going to look here. How many little thumbs up do we have? We have 56. Oh my goodness. We have 56 watching and 53 thumbs up. Way to go. Thank you so much, everyone. That is just awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So if you want to join, we do have members only available. You can get into membership for 99 cents. And we're going to do more on that too. Now, the other really cool thing is, first of all, if you want to slide on over to trueoracle.com, we have specials where you can actually talk to me 10 minutes for $4.95. I think that's right. Marie, if you're in the chat, you can tell me if that is the truth, because I mean, I'm not going to lie about it, but I think that's right. 10 minutes if you're a first-time caller, $4.95 for 10 minutes. You can't get a Starbucks coffee. You can't get a combo, but you can talk to Zelda for 10 minutes. That's first-time caller for 10 minutes. And then afterward, you can go to, then it goes to regular rate. But there you go, my darlings. And wait a minute. Hello. Look, we have 10 memberships that have been gifted by Auntie BB. Thank you. Thank you. And here we go. Welcome to all of you new members. Thank you so much, Auntie BB. You are just a darling. Thank you so much. And I'm also going to do this one for you too. Thank you so much for your support. Much love to you, my dear Auntie BB, you little darling, you. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. So we got a lot cooking. We got a lot cooking, my darlings. There's a lot coming. There's a lot coming. And if you want to really go into the deeper dive, because I think I'm going to do this, all of this about the CEO, Brian Thompson from United Healthcare, I'm going to put that one on Patreon, because we're going to be talking about some words there that YouTube is just going to go, Zelda, smack, 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 smack. No, girl, no, no. And I can't do that. I can't do that. So there, hello. You can't, she found an earring. No, Angel. So thank you so much, everyone. Pamela Jean, am I going to talk more about Diddy? Yes. There are some more things that have come out. I'm going to gingerly do another reading on him on the Crime Time with True Oracle YouTube channel. There's some stuff. There's some stuff. And I know some friends who, I know of a gentleman, I'm going to tell you what, if he was single. And you know, ladies, gentlemen, I don't think about relationships because I've had my fill. That's just me. I think it's wonderful. Being married, all that, I think it's wonderful. For me, I'm too busy. I'm just too busy. But have you seen that Netflix? Go see that Netflix. It's called Later Daters. Oh my gosh, is it ever so good? And I've laughed because it's people in their 60s starting to date again, late 50s and into their 60s starting to date again. Anyway, there's a gentleman that I know, and I'm going to be doing maybe sort of a little collaboration with him. Maybe I'm thinking sort of kind of after the first of the year, we're going to see. He's wonderful. He's married, and I don't do that, and no judgment. But I'm going to tell you, hello, nurse. Seriously, there's somebody outside is yelling. I just want you to know. I don't like it when people get out. It's dark outside. They're out in the parking lot. I'm kind of in my little office in the front room, and you hear people yelling outside. And, you know, I hate to even get up. I'm not going to get up and look. If I hear anything really bad going down, my son will look. No, I don't put my son in harm's way, but it's kind of funny because he's like the tank of the, you know, he was this little fella and all of a sudden he's just like, and his birthday is Christmas Day, by the way. So he is a full blood Capricorn. And that's a challenge for me because I'm a March Pisces. Hello. Anyway, this guy, back Zelda, zing, zing, zing. This guy is wonderful. He's a former mob boss. He's changed his life. He's got a family. He knew Judy Giuliani. Judy Giuliani. Did you hear what I just said? Judy Giuliani. Hello, thank you. Rudy Giuliani in New York put him away on a RICO charge. That's how he knows RICO. Do you know that it was the RICO that destroyed the idea of having the mob? Because it just put them all against each other. And they have this code of honor that, you know, you don't say anything. You're not a snitch. So here's the interesting thing, and I just love him. And I'm actually going to be asking him if he will come on to my show. He may or may not. You know, I love these people, but sometimes people don't like what I do. And it's against their belief, and I respect that. And that's okay. But I may ask him to come on. Don't know. So anyway, he was not only in prison when the Menendez brothers came in, and has a big story about them, but he has some fantastic life lessons and stories. Now, he knows a lot about this RICO stuff. He knows a lot about these stuff. And I'm going to ask him if he's going to come, if he would come on and just talk to us about the life and positivity and how you can turn your life around and everything else. He's fantastic. Right there. He had an interview with Big Homie CC the other day. Do you remember the last time I knew that I had this mind's eye? It was a C and a C. So that was it. Thank you, my Irish. That was it. That's him. Big Homie CC. I think he's wonderful. I'd have him bodyguard me all day long. Who's going to mess with Big Homie CC? But yes, did he? Yes. And Michael knows a lot of people that, oh my. I'm telling you, now I'm going to tell you this, okay? I think that the Diddy list will be, I think that they will be released. But I'm not so sure about the Epstein list. And here's why. I believe that it will be duly noted, those people that are on the Epstein list, and I believe that they will be handled the way they're supposed to be handled. But I also believe this, and I don't think it's right. I don't think it's wrong. I just understand. Some of these people are really high up. And if a lot of that stuff comes out and goes public about what they did, because see, there's a difference. The ones for Diddy had activity for the most part. For the most part, there were some underages there. But then for Epstein, it was primarily underages. And putting that list out and putting that list out and I'm watching here because we have a guest who has just stepped up here, and this one will go could collapse a country. It could, because there's some leaders on that list, former presidents, prime ministers, maybe kings, princes, could be. And there's a reason sometimes to do some of these things in private. You know, there's an old saying, because I was in business and corporate for years and years. And you praise in public and you take care of things. And excuse me, sir. And you take care of things in private. I believe they will handle what they need to handle legally in private. Do I believe they're going to make a big splash on the Diddy list? No. But do I believe they're going to make a big splash on the I said Diddy, I'm sorry. On the Epstein list? Yes. No, I got that backwards. Erase. I believe they will make a big splash on the Diddy list. The Epstein list, we will see them tweaking it as when it's not going to be this, okay, this one came out, this and that. No, it's not going to be that. So just be prepared. I think most of us sort of kind of know the people that were on the Diddy list anyway. And I'm also going to tell you that Ghislaine Maxwell has been singing like a little canary. And my always thing was, well, they put her away. What about the people that actually participated in that sort of thing that they did? No. So that's going to be taken care of. That will be taken care of. There's a lot of new things and a lot of other things coming out, my darlings, for the year of 2025. We're going to have much calmer waters. However, there are going to be some people that they can't get in a mindset of being more calm. You're going to start seeing things happen that are very good. But I'm also going to say you're going to see, and from this date forward now until middle of January, you're going to start seeing some things that it's going to blow your mind, because they want to upset the narrative. The bad actors want to upset the narrative. I don't know if you've seen, we talked about it last week, all the UFOs. Did you see all the UFOs that are going around the White House in Arizona, Chicago? They're all over. I've seen these pictures all over the world. Are they real? Some are. Some are not. Be cautious. Don't get scared. That's the biggest thing. Because you know what? In fear, the only way that people can be controlled is by fear. That's it. So just take a breath. Everything is going to be okay. I don't want you to worry about anything. We're actually going in a very, very good time. A very good time. 2025 is going to be good for us in many ways. Cheers. So, we have 15 minutes, and I'm trying to think of a quick story that I could tell all of you. Oh, well, I think I touched on it one time. Pardon me. Let's see. I touched on this when I lived in Virginia, in the house that was the granddaughter of President Monroe. And her husband, the granddaughter, husband and her, they got married when she was 19. And when I met her, she was in her 90s. And she was in a home, and she had to sell her home. I'm going to tell you what, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for her, because she cried at 93 years old, cried because she loved that house, and it was just filled with memories. And if you would have seen, I mean, every closet was cedar lined. The bathroom was stunningly gorgeous. It was retro, but it was tastefully gorgeous. Never changed. It was beautiful. But the basement. So I know I told you all about Jacques Germain, Jacques Germain, you know, the guy that possibly was Jacques Saint Germain. That was during this time. And that's when my grandmother and my mother came to visit me. My husband was out to sea. This was in Virginia. It was near Fort Monroe, Virginia. And it was stunning. And I kept hearing, now this is another thing, I kept hearing about what was in the basement. Now I was living there alone. I had my dog Skippy. I'll tell you about Skippy. So next week when we go live, someone remind me, tell us about Skippy, and I will tell you about Skippy. You're going to love that story. Skippy was an absolute doll. Skippy was a cross between a golden retriever, and a shepherdy type. He was just such a little sweet baby. He was a good boy. And anyway, so I had Skippy, and his name was Skippy before he had his one hind leg removed. And so I'll tell you about Skippy next week. But anyway, I had Skippy, and then I had Tippy, Canoe, and Tyler. So they were all three cats because that was a political slogan. And I was living in Virginia and all about the history. And so I had Tippy, Canoe, and Tyler too. So I had all three of those, and these guys wouldn't even go. The entrance to the basement was in the kitchen. My kitchen was absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And they would not even walk in the kitchen. They would hear a noise coming from below the house because, frankly, this place was gorgeous. It had a big front room and a parlor room, and it had a fireplace, and it was just stunning. And I wish I still lived there. It was beautiful. So my grandmother and mother came over, and that's when we were talking about Jack, and we kept hearing these noises. And my grandma said, why don't I go downstairs? Now, for those of you who don't know the story, my grandmother was kind of like, well, she knew Lorraine Warren. And she was like this paranormal princess, but she was this psychic. I mean, she would just blow you away. She was that good. Some of her predictions just were compelling. It was just amazing. So the slaves from the Civil War dug out the basement of this house, former slaves. And there was a lot going on in that basement. Now, most people, they think a basement is just a finished basement or something. No. This was a dirt basement with stacked stone on the walls. So when you walk down these wooden steps, I would open the door, and it would just be like this force field would stop me because it was scary. I mean, I'll admit it to you. So there's my little Italian grandmother who walks downstairs, Italian Irish, walking downstairs into this basement. She came up out of that basement, and I have never seen her look like that. And I heard her down there talking. My mom and I heard her down there, and Mom's like, should we go get her? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. You go. I was like, no, Mom, you go. So, but Grandma was feisty. So it came to the point where Grandma came back up. Now, Grandma was a redhead, just like Lucille Ball. Not flaming, but she was a redhead until she got late in her years, and then she was all white, beautiful white hair. She came up stairs, and I swear she had a white streak in her hair, just a small white streak out of that red hair, a small white streak, and she would color it, and she couldn't get rid of it from that day. And we asked her what the deal was. We asked her, Grandma, what's the deal with this? Pardon me. And she wouldn't talk about it. But when she came up, she was silent for a minute. We made her a cup of coffee. We sat down. We acted like there was not really too much going on. And I want to tell you what I remember. Do you remember Anya music is when it first, this is the time frame when Anya first came out, Enya. And I had a song playing on her album, Orinoco Flow. Oh my gosh. I will never forget this. And this particular song started playing, and it was called Evening Falls. And I loved it. And that song started playing. And my grandmother looked up to me and she said, if you do not want your life to change, how did she say that? If you do not want your life to change, then do not go down in the basement. Now, I don't know what she saw. We don't know. She never said anything. But from that moment on, the noises and the banging and the screams and the yells, and they were male. There was no female scream or yell or any, and there was no one there. It was just me, Tippy Canoe, and Tyler. That was it. And you can imagine now, setting the stage, it's the fall, right after Halloween. It was me and my grandmother and my mother. We're sitting in this big room, kind of reminiscent to this, but it wasn't all wood. I painted it kind of this harvest gold and it had this huge, great big white crown molding and base mold. It was just stunning, and a huge fireplace, and it was going. And I got to tell you, my grandmother sitting there and that Anya music singing, oh, 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 oh. I will never forget it. And when I moved out of that place, we never put anything in the basement. We never went down there. Never did I do anything with that basement. And when my husband was gone, I rarely went into the kitchen to even cook. I wouldn't do hardly anything. And that house was set up to entertain. And I didn't know anybody in Virginia except Jack. Hello. I didn't know anybody in Virginia. I didn't know anywhere. Nothing. But if you want to know that song, it is called, I believe it's Evening Falls. And then you'll know. And it kind of, let me see. I don't know if I can sing it. Let me try to sing it for you. Oh, no, wait. When Evening Comes, I think is when it's called. When the evening comes and the daylight is over, deep within me falls, could it be that I am sleeping all alone in my... I don't remember. It over. No. Far away, far away. Ooh. That's enough for that, because I don't even know the words anymore. Now I'll have to get it. So that was it. If you can pick that out, that's the song, my darlings. And you know what? It's almost time to put up your tray tables. Put your seats back up into the upright position. We are about ready to land and go over to Doc Turtle Boy. And I just want to know of all of you, raise your little hands. Who dances? When Melanie Little's song, I know the words to Melanie and I sing her little intro, but when Doc Aiden comes on, thank you, Auntie B. I'll tell you the story of my voice someday. When Auntie B comes on, Auntie B, hello, my darling. When you come on, I'll tell you what, I love you. But when Doc Aiden comes on, I'm here dancing. Hello? Yeah. Tick, tick, boom. That's exactly it. Tick, tick, boom. Let's go. Let's go. I can tell you this right now, my darlings. The moment that this whole Karen Reed thing is over, Zelda will be hauling up to Canton, Massachusetts. Not now. I won't until it's cleared out. Come on, sister. right? Right, Karen? That one little ditty that he's got going reminds me of that doom, da doom, da doom, dum, bum, bum. They play it at football games. Da dum, 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 dum, dum. Remember that? That's, and I'm here rocking it, baby. You bet. And I'm going to be rocking it as long as I can rock it. We're going to go. Now, listen, stay tuned for this week, my darlings, because I'm going to be coming out with a lot of these energy readings. We're going to be coming out with a lot of member stuff. We're going to be coming out. Well, I'm just going to be coming out. Basically, I'm just going to be sitting here doing a lot of stuff. And that's okay with me because it's cold. And it has been so cold here, I feel like we're hanging meat. And that's fine. So I'm just going to stay in and I'm going to read. And one thing I was going to tell you all is I've been doing everything that I can to work on time management. So my house doesn't look like a crime scene because I sit here and I read all day long because I get into it and I sit here and I start thinking, oh my gosh. So if you saw the last one with the high priestess, I hope you like that. I'm going to put some more out. YouTube will tell me sometimes they think that I'm putting too many out because I had been putting out one a day. And then they tell me, well, you're not putting out enough because your views have dropped. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So we've got a minute left before we get to all go over and dance. I want to tell you how much I love you. Please subscribe and like this video. I will be singing very soon. We're going to be having our drawing very soon. You know where to get a hold of me. You know what to say. And I'm going to tell you what, thank you so much. My kitties and I love you. Thank you for your support. This is going to be a week. Batten down your hatches, my darlings. Get ready. Hold on to everything. And I'm baking cookies. Well, we'll be on over there, Karen. Bless you, my darling. And I'm going to be in the kitchen myself. So get ready, darlings, because we love you. I love you. And I'll tell you what, we're about to roll on over to my darling Doc. So get ready. Here we go. Love you all. Bye for now.